everyone, welcome back to Chair Yoga. For those who don't know me, my name's Rita. Always happy to be here, and we're continuing to bring you these programs online since we can't meet face to face. But I'm really looking forward to the time that we can do that again, and I miss seeing you all. We're marking the passage of time by the length of our hair and the length of our roots. But that's not a bad problem to have. If that's the worst thing that happens, then I'll be very happy. So I hope you're all staying well and healthy and continuing to practice. Oh, I need to take my slippers off. So find a nice comfortable way to sit. We don't really need any props today. We're just going to use our bodies and our breath to move. So we'll start by sitting back in the chair, gently letting the chin rest. And if it's comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. Just notice the sounds around you. Maybe you hear the wind, people in the house, pitter-patter of dog feet. And then begin to draw your attention more inward. And notice the movement of your body as you're breathing. Maybe you notice your chest lifting and your belly expanding. Do you notice if your shoulders are moving? And bring your attention to your back and where it touches the back of the chair. Maybe you can notice a slight change in pressure there as you inhale and exhale, or a little change in the shape of the back as you move through your breath. So just pay attention to our breath for a few more moments. And then we'll lift the chin, open the eyes, and we'll do our breathing exercise. So you can do this anytime throughout the day. You bring one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly. So you can keep your eyes closed here if you prefer, if it helps you to focus, or you can open your eyes. This time as you breathe in, I want you to think about your hands being pushed out towards the front. And as you exhale, everything relaxes. As you breathe in, front ribs move forward and the back ribs move back towards the chair. And then everything relaxes as you exhale. So we'll try that a couple of times. So we're thinking of the rib cage expanding to the front and back. Breathing in and out. And in and out. And we'll bring the hands to the side ribs. So you can wrap your hands around if that's comfortable, or just bring your hands anywhere that's comfortable, but above your waist, so you can just feel the bottom of your ribs there. Trying to keep the shoulders relaxed. And this time as you inhale, I want you to expand the rib cage out to the side. And as you exhale, relax down. It might not be a big movement, and you may hardly feel your ribs moving at all. That's okay, but we're thinking about them moving out towards the side. One more breath in this direction. And then we'll relax. We'll bring one hand toward the collarbone, one hand lower down towards the pubic bone, and imagine you can find length in your spine as you inhale. Get a little taller and relax down as you exhale. Breathing in and out. 2 more breaths in this direction, lengthening on the inhale and relaxing as you breathe out. 1 more inhale and exhale. We'll bring the hands to the belly. I like to make a diamond kind of around the belly button and think of breathing in all those directions. So front and back, side to side and up and down. It doesn't have to be a big breath, but just focus on moving in that direction. And exhale. Exhale. Now we're not really breathing into our lower abdomen. What's happening is as you inhale, the diaphragm pushes down as the lungs expand, and that pushes everything below the diaphragm out and forward. So we can't really breathe down here. This is movement here is the result of that deep breath. You can think of the diaphragm like a pancake pushing down and spreading out, pushing our organs and our stomach out of the way. Do 2 more breaths in all these directions, expanding out to the side and lengthwise and back in. 1 more. And keep your hands here, but let your breathing return to normal. So the belly is relaxed. We're not trying to hold the belly in. Let it be soft. No one can see you. So you can have a soft, relaxed belly. And breathing at a nice soft pace. So we'll try to move with our breath. In fact, we'll try to move with the breath leading us. So by that I mean as we inhale, that's the beginning of a movement. And as we exhale, again, that begins the movement rather than the result of the movement. So we'll try to focus on that today. It's okay if we lose our way occasionally and just breathe normally, right? Whatever happens, just continue to breathe. And if my breath is too slow for you, take extra breaths. I'm going to bring the hands to the thighs and let the elbows come back and relax the shoulders. So we're still sitting up nice and tall. I'm leaning on my chair. If you want to add some more active movement to this, you could sit up, drawing the belly in and sitting up tall. So if you want to do that, you can do that. I'm actually going to relax back a little bit more today. I'm going to breathe in. As you exhale, turn the head towards the right. And just notice how far you can move it without moving your shoulders. Inhale back through the center and over to the left. So we're just exploring here. Inhale through the center. Exhale to the right. And maybe you have more movement than usual today or less. I actually feel that today I've got a much bigger range of motion than I normally do, which is nice. We'll come back to the center. As you inhale, lift the chin, and exhale, lengthen the back of the neck. Inhale. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale to lower. So we're going to do something now which I can't really demonstrate because I have to talk as I'm doing it, but I hope you will understand what I'm asking you to do. I'll do my best to show you. We're going to open the mouth wide as you can. So I'll show you with my hand. Open the mouth wide. Keep it open as you lift towards the ceiling. And then here, close the mouth. And then lower down. Open the mouth wide. Keep it open as you lift the chin. Close the mouth here. And then lower. We'll do 2 more like that. Opening. Lifting. Close. And lower. open wide and lift, close, and then lower. Bring the head back to the center. So you might have felt a nice stretch through here as you close your mouth at the top there. So for this next part, I am going to sit away from the chair. I'm going to lift the shoulders up and then lower them. So nice and gently, not too high. Lifting and lowering. One more like that. This time we're going to lift up and we're going to bring the shoulders forward. Then we're lifting up and drawing them back. So up and forward. So making an upside down U shape with our shoulders. Coming up and forward. And then up and back. You can draw the shoulder blades a little bit together here. Up and forward, the shoulder blades will come apart on your back. Up and back, the shoulder blades draw together a little bit. Two more like that. Up and forward. Up and back. Up and forward. And then up and back. And we'll make some little circles with the head. Very small circles and very slowly. We'll do two in each direction, just in case you gathered any tension there while you're moving your shoulders. Keep the opposite direction. And then we'll come back to the center. You can sit back in your chair again, or you can continue to sit up tall. We're going to do some work with our fingers. So let's start with the fingers on the thighs and open just a little bit. So not really stretching them far open, just a little bit. And we're going to try to lift one finger at a time. So we'll start with our pinky fingers and then lower it. And then the ring fingers and then lower. So this is do as I say, not as I do, because it's very hard to lift the ring fingers. And the middle finger and the index finger and then the thumb. And we'll just go through that a few times. Pinky, seems easy. Ring finger, seems impossible. Middle finger and index finger and the thumb. One more time. Pinky, ring, middle and index and the thumb. Good. I'm going to turn the palms up. I'm going to bring each finger in turn towards the center of the hand. So you might notice I'm trying to move one finger at a time and I really can't, but we'll try to move the pinky finger in by itself, and then the ring finger, and the middle finger, the index finger, and then the thumb. We'll go through that a couple of times. So clearly my ring finger is inextricably linked to my other fingers. And we'll do one more round, trying to move one finger at a time, which is not working very well for me, as you can see, but we're at least bending the fingers in. Good. And then give them a little wiggle, like you're tickling someone. And then we'll make fists and make some circles at the wrists. And then we'll switch directions. And we'll stretch the fingers out wide and close them in. Stretch them wide and close. So a few more like that. One more. I'm going to do a little bit of gentle work on our forearms, just above the wrist. So you have two bones in your forearm, and if you take your thumb, you can kind of work your way up. You can feel the little indentation between those two bones. So very gently here. I want you to just rub the thumb up and down, side to side, working your way up the arm. So maybe come halfway up the forearm, and you might find that you find a really tender spot, as I just have. So if you find something that's really tender, don't be tempted to push too hard on that. Come a little bit away from it. So just come, for me, a bit further down. And just gently circle around that spot. maybe above and below the really tender spot. And then slowly work your way back down to the wrist. This is something you could do anytime you're sitting down, listening to the radio, watching television. Oh, and there's another really tender spot there. So I have a tender spot right above my wrist and another one further up. That's on my dominant arm. I'm going to release that, make some circles with that hand. And then we'll try the other arm. So this is my non-dominant hand. Maybe it will feel different. I'm going to move my watch a little bit out of the way. And again, we'll just gently find that indentation between those two bones. And we'll work our way up. Okay, I found a little spot there in a different place than my other arm. We'll work our way up. You can still practice that gentle breathing as we're doing this. And you probably notice that one arm feels different than the other. I thought that this arm would be less tender than my dominant arm, but in fact it's not. I don't know why. Just slowly working your way back down towards the wrist. Just be curious about your body and, notice how one thing is different than the other. One side's different than the other. Swirl that hand around a bit, taking out any tension. Clasp the hands, reach them forward, take a little stretch. And bring them back in. So whichever thumb is on top, I want you to switch that thumb and then switch all the fingers and do the same again. Invert the palms and push them away. And then bring them back, give everything a little shake. And let's give our hands a rest and we'll work on our feet a little bit. So I'm going to come forward in my chair so my feet can be properly on the floor. I'm going to lift up onto the toes and then onto the heels. Lifting up and then rocking back. So forward and back a couple of times. And then relax down or reach one foot out and then the other. A couple of times, getting those clicks away from the knees. And then we'll reach the right leg out, we'll point the toes and then flex back towards you. Point and flex and point and flex. That is my toe, you can hear cracking maybe. And point and flex and we'll make some circles. One direction, trying to keep the legs still as you do this, and then circle in the opposite direction. And we'll bring that leg down, give it a little shake. We'll do the left leg, reaching it out. We'll point and flex, and point and flex. One more. And then we'll make some circles, keeping the leg still. And then the opposite way. And then bring that leg down. So I want you to do a little exercise here. So however you're sitting, I want you to bring your foot up. If this isn't comfortable, then you could move and do this either on the floor or bring your foot onto something. But just so you can touch the bottom of your foot. So I want you to notice the shape of your foot, and we're not touching the toes, the bit that's wiggling. We're going to come to that pad underneath. So if you think of the ball of the toe, there's that kind of flat pad bit underneath there. And just gently give that little rub. Really focus on that spot. Doesn't have to be hard. Just to draw your attention to it. And then do the same under the little toe. So again, not on the toe, but on the pad on the bottom of your foot underneath that little toe. There we go. Good. So I'm doing it right here and here, right? And then we're going to come to the heel. and right in the middle of the heel. This is not a very elegant class, is it? And we're going to give that little spot there a little bit of a rub. So for most people with normal feet, those 3 points are actually what touching the ground when we're standing and walking. So we have an arch on the inside, we have an arch on the outside, we actually have an arch across underneath the toes. So those 2 points are what's touching the floor. So I want you to draw your attention to those spots. And then we'll do the same with the other foot. So we're just conscious of that. So that point underneath the pad of the big toe. So again, we're not touching the toe itself, touching underneath the ball of the toe, just giving a little rub. Trust me, there is a purpose to this. And then we'll come across that top arch to the ball of the little toe. And then work our way to the middle of the heel. Again, that right in the middle of that part there. So if you can feel your heel here, and it's right in the middle. And then we'll bring that to the floor. Now, I want you to be on a chair that's low enough that you can actually put weight on your feet. If you want to stand up and do this, you can. I'm going to demonstrate it sitting down. I want you to maybe close your eyes here. Relax your arms, but focus on your feet and really think about maybe pushing into the floor a little bit more with those spots on the heels. And see if you can feel pushing a little more into the right heel and then the left heel. And then bring your attention to those spots underneath those pads of the little toes. So transferring the weight just a little bit to that outside corner of the foot. If you imagine a triangle, and we're up in this outer corner. And maybe it's easier to find it on one side than the other. And notice what your feet are doing. So for me, my left big toe is trying to help, and I want to keep it relaxed. And then we'll transfer the weight to the pad underneath the ball of the big toe. And again, maybe you can move weight a little bit from one foot to the other. So it's just a little exercise that I want you to do maybe throughout the week as you're standing, either you're in the kitchen or you're just standing in line somewhere, and just see if you can bring your attention to those 3 spots. So when we're walking, we really want to walk in the order of heel, slightly onto that little toe, and then we push off through the big toe. Heel, little toe, you push off through that big toe. So if we're not having that nice neutral walking pattern, that's when we might get issues with our knees and hips. So think about a house foundation. If you looked at a house and the roof was all at a strange angle, you wouldn't go into the attic, you would go to the foundation. So that's what we're trying to do with our feet. Get a good strong foundation. So that's a little bit of homework for you, is to be conscious of those triangular spots on your feet and try and ground down through there and be strong and a nice neutral way of standing. Okay, that's enough of that exercise. We're going to get back to our regular programming. We'll sit up nice and tall. Bring our hands to heart center again. Interlace the fingers. Invert, push the hands away. This time round the spine. Make a little C shape with the back and let the chin drop. As you inhale, lift the chest and the arms. And as you exhale, beginning the exhale first and then curl down. Begin to inhale like you're blowing up a balloon inside your rib cage. It causes everything to lift. And as you exhale, coming down. We'll do 2 more like that. Inhale, lifting. You can lift the arms as high as is comfortable for you. And exhale, Everything collapses down, tail tucks under. One more, inhaling up. This time we're going to keep the arms up there. We'll bring the hands behind the head. Elbows are as wide as you can have them, so it's okay if they're not very wide. Draw those lower ribs in so you're not sticking your chest out. Tuck the chin a little bit and push the head back into the hands. Just a little bit, not too much tension. And then relax that. Begin to take a side bend over to the right. This right elbow becomes heavy and eventually you have to let that hand drop down. So take hold of the chair with your right hand. This left arm is going to stay behind the head. We'll draw the chest down towards the leg. And then inhale, open up. You can come to face the front, or maybe you can open a little towards the ceiling, or maybe not in my case. Draw it down as you exhale. Think of the inhale first as lifting you up. If this is too much for this shoulder, you can always bring your hand down or bring it to the shoulder rather than behind your head. Lowering down as you exhale. Begin the inhale, opening the chest. And one last time, we'll exhale and fold down. We'll relax this hand down to the knee. We're just going to take a forward fold over this right knee. Breathe here a couple of times. As you inhale, again lifting up. I'm going to twist a little bit towards the right. So nice and gently, hands on top of the thigh. Inhale to get taller and exhale. Move that right rib cage round a bit further. And bring everything back to the center. Take a pause here for a moment. One breath. We'll interlace the fingers. And again, we'll swap all the fingers round so it's the non-habitual way. Invert the palms. Push away as you round the spine and drop the chin, tucking the tail. Begin the inhale first and then lift the arms and the chest. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale. Hips can rock forward a little bit here, lifting the chest and the arms. And exhale, lowering down. One more time, lifting the arms as you're inhaling. Bring the hands behind the head. And again, that nice, gentle position here. So our elbows are as wide as is comfortable for you without these ribs sticking forward. So try to draw the ribs in so this is a nice neutral posture. Tucking the chin a little bit, pushing the head back into the hands. A little bit of a stretch. And then release that and begin to make that left elbow heavy as you start bending towards the side, keeping the chest facing the front, and eventually this hand will release to the chair. Keep the right hand behind the head if that's comfortable. As you exhale, fold towards that left knee. Begin the inhale to expand. Maybe you can turn towards the ceiling a little. Exhale to fold. Begin the inhale first. Make that initiate the movement and folding down. Inhale. And this time we'll exhale, lowering the hand to the knee, folding over that left knee. Take some easy breaths here. And keep facing that direction, but as you inhale, lengthen the spine, like you're blowing up that balloon. And as you exhale, use these left ribs to move you a bit further to the left. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist. And as you inhale, bring everything back to the center. We'll take a couple more of those Shoulder shrugs, maybe making some circles this time in one direction and then the other. Lifting the head gently, rocking it side to side, making circles wherever you feel good, in case you've got any tension gathered there. So we're going to sit forward on the chair again. I'm going to keep the knees bent for now. I'm going to do a couple of different things. We're going to do, you can hold onto the chair for this or bring the hands to your thighs if you feel stable enough. Because I'm quite close to the front of the chair, I'm going to hold onto the chair, so you should do the same thing if you're near the front of the chair. I'm going to lift the right leg and lower it, and then we're going to lift it out a little bit to the side, so rotating out to the side and then bring it back down. Then the left leg comes up, straight up and down, and then we're going to rotate it out a little bit to the side and then bring it down. So it's a bit like marching, and then out to the side and lift, and then lift out to the side. Keep breathing and lift and rotate straight up with the left leg and then rotate out to the left. One more each side, and the left leg, and then take a pause, take a little resting pose there. So you can stick with that version if that felt like a lot of work. You can keep the knees bent. If you want to add a little bit to it, we can lift and lengthen and then lower, rotate and lengthen and then lower, lift and lengthen and lower, out to the side and lengthen and lower. So we'll do that a couple of times, or stick with the version where you just lift with the bent leg. So like up and kick and rotate and kick, but slow kicks up and out, rotate it and out, up and out to the front, rotate it out to the side and down. I'm going to bring the feet as wide as your chair, bring the hands to the knees, coming even further forward here. We're going to let one leg rotate inwards as the other one rotates out, and then come over to the opposite side. So rotating in and out. And maybe you can look over the opposite shoulder. So if your knees come over to the right, you can look over to the left. As your knees come over to the left, you can look over the right. And we'll do that a couple of times. Nice and gently. Keeping the feet wide here. One more time to each side. And we'll come back to the center. We'll walk the feet in. Let's sit back a little bit further and we'll do our sun salutation. It's a good time to have a drink. We'll sit up nice and tall in our mountain pose. Just bring the attention back to that breathing again. Noticing the lift of the chest a little bit as you inhale, and the relaxation as you exhale. Collarbones are wide here. The arms are down by the side, slightly rotated externally, so the palms probably face a little bit forward. Big sweep of the arms, but we're going to start with the breath. So as you inhale first, lift the arms. Start your exhale and fold forward. Let the inhale lift you halfway, and then exhale forward. Again, inhale, lifting up. Exhale, bring the hands together, come down through the center. We'll take a breath here, breathing in Inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Start the inhale, that will lift you up. And exhale, bring the hands down to heart center. We'll take a couple of breaths here. This time, take your thumb and bring it to your sternum or your breastbone here. Close your eyes and just notice where your thumb is touching that bone as you inhale. Maybe you can feel it moving a bit more, and then exhale. One more breath here. We'll do that whole sequence one more time. Let the inhale start the movement up, and the exhale helps you fold forward. Inhaling lifts the chest. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands together, lowering down in front of the chest. Let's take that same movement again. Thumbs come to the breastbone. Close the eyes. Focus on the movement of the chest. Keep the belly soft. Notice what's moving in your body as you're breathing. And then we'll relax the arms down. Sweep the arms up. I'm going to come to cactus arms. So this arms are still a little bit in front of you, so you can see them. If you bring them too far back, your chest will pop forward and you can't really see your arms anymore. So you want them in your peripheral vision. And we'll try to keep the elbows up close to level with the shoulders. I'm going to close the arms together, clapping them, and then open. Exhale, close. It's okay if the elbows don't come together. Inhale to open. Exhale, drawing them together. Maybe the elbows touch, maybe they don't. And open. Exhale. And open. I'm going to reach the arms out. Bring them a little lower than shoulder height. We're going to rotate the palms up. And then rotate them all the other way as though we're pushing behind. And then bring them back. Palms up like you're holding a platter. Rotate and push them behind. Forward, turning up. Rotate, push behind. One more. Rotate, palms up. And rotate down and back. And we'll bring everything in. Relax the arms a little bit. Notice if you gathered any tension in your shoulders or your neck as you were doing that. Try to let the arms be heavy and soft. Let them just relax on your thighs for a moment. We'll come into our warrior series. So for this, we're going to turn to the side. So we'll turn to the right. Make sure that right foot is flat on the floor in front of you, and the left foot is out to the side. Nicely sitting firmly on the chair. Arms are down by the side, palms are facing in. We'll reach them up either towards the wall or as far towards the ceiling as you can without bringing your shoulders up to your ears. Take a couple of breaths here in Warrior One. So think of lengthening the arms. And as we exhale, we'll bring that left arm down behind us. Lower both arms. Just check that they're not higher than your shoulders. And the gaze is over those right fingertips. The chest is opening towards the front if you can. There's a little twist here. And keep breathing. We'll bring the left hand down to the chair. We'll rotate the front arm. Lift up and back for that radiant warrior. Maybe you can look up at that hand, if that's comfortable. And then we'll come all the way down through Warrior Two. So back through that nice strong warrior pose. Relax the arms. We'll bring that right forearm to the right thigh. Let this left arm hang down. And just make some circles. Let it do it itself. The weight of the arm, make the movement. And then we're going to reach it up and forward and overhead. So if you can, we'll reach it overhead. If this is too much for your shoulder, you can bring the hand down to the shoulder or across the chest or to the hip, or you can reach it. Look down at that right foot and try not to have too much weight in this arm. So try to use the strength of your torso, your abdominal muscles to help keep you lifting away from the thigh. And we'll bring this arm down. We'll come back to our warrior two. I'm going to lower the arms. Lengthen this left foot out in front of you. I like to have my heel on the floor. If you want to keep your toes on the floor as well, you can do that. So we're facing the corner of the chair. The chest is facing the corner. Left arm comes inside the thigh. And hold onto the chair with the right arm and begin to slide this hand down inside the thigh. We're keeping a long spine here, so we're not bending the spine. We're hinging at the hip, reaching down towards the knee or the ankle for triangle. One more breath. And we'll slowly come back up. So you might have felt a stretch in the inner thigh there. I'm going to bend this knee in. Take a breath. We'll slowly work our way around through the front, all the way to the other side. So again, making sure that you're sitting squarely on the chair, nice and stable. This time the left leg is in front, we're facing that left leg, and the right foot is out to the side here. Arms are down by the side. Inhale as you reach the arms up. Nice strong arms. Again, drawing these ribs in, so we're not arching the spine. Keep breathing. And then this time we'll take the right hand, begin to lower it behind as palms face down, lower than shoulder height. Gaze is over those left fingers. Keep breathing. Chest is trying to face the front. We'll relax the arm. We'll do reverse warrior first. We'll bring this right hand down to the chair. Rotate that left palm and reach it up and behind. I nearly forgot this one on this side. So you can look up at the hand. If that's not comfortable, you can look out to the front. And we'll slowly come back to warrior two. We'll bring this left forearm to the side. Let this right arm hang down loose. You can make some circles. Switching directions. Then we're going to reach it forward, opening the chest to the front if we can. Now this is not very comfortable for my shoulder on this side, so you can keep your arm up here if you like. I'm going to bring this hand down to my hip because that is not feeling good for my shoulder today. So we're trying to keep a nice long spine here, not letting the head drop down. Keep it in line with the neck is in line with the spine. And we've still got a bit of strength in the torso holding us up here. So if you took your arm away, you wouldn't collapse down. Right, so that's the goal. And we'll slowly come back up. Let's come back through that warrior two. We'll relax the arms down. This time we'll slide that right foot out Again, I like to have my heel on the floor, but if you have flexibility in your ankle and can keep the foot firmly on the floor, you can do that. But I'm going to bring my toes towards the ceiling. Chest is facing this corner of the chair. Hold onto the chair with your left hand. Right hand is on the inside of the thigh, and I'm going to hinge towards this right leg, reaching my hand down towards the knee. Maybe you go a bit further, finding a strong triangle pose here. And again, the gaze can be straight in front of you. You could look down at that foot if you like. Keep breathing. And slowly come back up, relax this leg. Walk your feet around to the front of your chair. Sit back in the chair, bring the hands down, let the head tilt down, and just take a couple of breaths here in a rest pose. If you have some water, this would be a good time to take a sip. And we'll come into our pigeon pose, one of my favourites. So we'll come forward. Well, I need to come forward on my chair because this chair's quite high. You may not need to, but I want this left foot firmly on the ground. So wherever you need to be to get that foot on the ground is important. We're going to reach the leg out to the side and bring it into the ankle. So we've still got that external rotation that we practiced earlier. Bring it a little bit higher. And then maybe a little bit higher. If you can bring it all the way up and over the thigh. If that's not comfortable, you can rest it on the floor but have that rotation, or rest it on a block or a stool in front of you. I'm going to bring mine to the thigh. This right foot is flexed. I'm going to sit up tall, equal weight on the sits bones. So you can stay here. You might feel a stretch already on the outside of the hip, or maybe even on the inner thigh. If you don't feel that stretch and you want to, you can begin to hinge forward, stopping when you feel a little resistance. And we take several breaths here. Use your inhale to come out of this and lengthen the spine. I'm going to release this leg, bring it in towards the chest, holding either around the outside of your knee or underneath your thigh. Make some circles in one direction, and then switch and do some in the opposite direction. And then we'll bring that foot to the floor. Just close your eyes here for a moment and get a sense of how you feel one side of your body compared to the other. And we'll open the eyes and we'll do the other side. So we'll bring that left foot out to the side, bring it to the ankle, bring it out and up a little higher. And then again up and over, or to a block or a stool, or keep it on the floor. Again, this foot is flexed and we're sitting equally on our sits bones. So the tendency is sometimes to have less weight on one side. So we're trying to be evenly seated. This right foot is firmly on the ground. So just take a moment here before you start leaning into it, just to assess how this feels compared to the other side. And then you could begin to hinge forward until you feel some resistance. And again, we'll pause here for several breaths. lift the chest. Bring this leg in, taking hold of it around the knee or under the thigh, and make some circles. Try to let the arms do the work here, so you're not holding your leg up with your leg. And you can reverse directions. And then lower it down. Let's come forward on the chair again, and again bringing the feet, actually let's keep the feet parallel to the knees. We'll open the knees out to the side, let the feet rock open, and then in. Open out to the side. Use your hands to do the work. So your legs and hips are relaxed, but your arms are doing the work for you. A couple more. And then we'll sit up nice and tall. We're going to extend the right foot out, heels on the floor, toes are pointing to the ceiling. Bring the hands to the opposite leg, so to the left leg. And keep that long spine again. I'm going to come a bit further forward on my chair for this. And begin to hinge forward until you feel a little resistance in the back of that right leg. This leg shouldn't be locked in place. You can lengthen it, but try not to lock it. Keep breathing. And slowly as you inhale, coming back upright, bend this leg in, give it a little jiggle. And then we'll bring the left foot out in front. Heel on the floor, toes point to the ceiling. Hands are on the right thigh, nice strong back, and we'll hinge forward. Again, maybe just noting a difference in one leg to the other, or one hip to the other. Take 2 more breaths here. As we inhale, bringing everything in, bring this leg in, give it a little jiggle. And then we'll get set up for our Shavasana. So finding a way to sit that is comfortable for you. So if you have a block or a stool or a couple of books or upside down waste paper basket or bin, you could bring your feet to that. Since this is a high chair for me, I'm going to bring my feet to a block so I can sit back and relax, but you can keep your feet on the floor if that's comfortable. Hands on the thighs, letting the elbows rest back. Let the chin drop a little. And we'll come back to that sense of breathing. Focusing first on sounds you can hear around you. Maybe there's birds and people. Then gradually drawing everything more internal and noticing your own breath and just your breath. So we'll do our 1 breath meditation, which simply means we'll observe what's happening in our bodies as we inhale and exhale. Just 1 breath at a time. And 1 more. Noticing what you feel. Maybe you feel the air moving in and out of your nose or your mouth. maybe you're conscious of your chest or belly moving, or your back pushing gently into the chair behind you. That's all part of observing the breath. If your mind gets distracted, acknowledge that thought. Oh, there's a car honking or there's a bird tweeting. But then bring it back to focusing on the movement of your breath. Belly soft. The chest moves gently. Notice the weight of your hands on your legs. Notice any heat from your hands on your legs. Notice the weight of your thighs on the chair. Your feet on the floor. And we'll begin to slowly increase the length of our inhale and the exhale. It doesn't have to be really slow, but just consciously lengthening a couple of times. And we'll bring some small movements back. You can start by wiggling the fingers and moving the toes. Circle at the wrists and the ankles. Lifting the chin, stretching the arms overhead, taking a big stretch. A big yawn. Bring everything back down to the center. We'll sit up nice and tall. Your hands can be on your thighs. You can bring your hands to heart center. We're going to take 3 breaths in through the nose, but audibly exhale through the mouth like a big sigh or like you're fogging up a mirror. So inhale. Inhale. Last one. And return your breathing to normal. I'm so happy to be able to share this with you today. Don't forget to do your homework, focusing on those 3 points of the feet, trying to get a good firm base for your standing and walking. And until I see you again, namaste.